Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Let us look at Rishi Sunak's new illegal migration bill. Let's talk about why some people say it's right, and let's talk about why a lot of people say no, this is a very, very unfortunate bill. Let's review this bill. Let's discuss the pros and cons. Let's get right into the show. Okay. Let's discuss the bill threadbare first. ठीक है ना? Let's try and understand this bill in simple language. और उसके बाद, after that, let us discuss the rights and wrong of the bill. ठीक है ना? So let's start with the point number one. Let's first start what Sunak said. Rishi Sunak, the British Prime Minister, said today we are introducing new laws that mean if you come to UK illegally, you will be banned from ever re-entering our country. This is how we will break the business model of people smugglers. This is how we will take back control of our borders. If you come to UK illegally, you will be stopped from making late claims and attempts to frustrate your removal. You will be removed in weeks, either to your own country, if it is safe, or to a safe third country like Rwanda. They have an agreement with Rwanda that they can migrate people to Rwanda. This is what he says. Okay. So it's very clear. He says, Baba, listen, if you come to our country, and that too you come to our country illegally, we will throw you out. So don't try to frustrate our country by going to human rights violation or human rights commission and others and talking about asylum and talking about human rights and all that. वो सब मैं देखने वाला नहीं है. He says if you are even seeking human rights, if you are seeking asylum also, we are not bothered. Okay, if you are being persecuted in your country also, don't come illegally. Don't come to our country, because if you are persecuted in your country, we catch you in weeks. We will throw you to Rwanda. Okay, हमारे इधर तो रखने वाला नहीं है. Not only that we will not only not keep you, but we will ensure that you never re-enter our country in your life. So that's it. End of story. ठीक है. Now, this is what he says. Now, in the next 4 minutes, let us understand few key points of this illegal immigration law and then illegal immigration bill, my apologies, and then let's take it further. The point number one that Rishi Sunak says is that most of these people are traveling through multiple European countries. They are paying people thousands of pounds to get here. So the first point he is making, he is saying, listen, this illegal immigrants, now don't say bechara, poor people and all that they are coming here because they have no other go, they have been persecuted or they have been trafficked and all. He said most of these people know they travel through many European countries to come to England. So it is not that they, the first available country they are jumping into. ऐसा नहीं है. They are traveling through many countries because they want to come into England, and they pay these human traffickers or whatever these people who do illegal immigration. They pay them in thousands of pounds. So they are actually doing this deliberately. So they are illegal immigrants, and we are not going to take them. Point number one. Point number two, he says that UK government will detain and deport anyone who reaches this country by unauthorized means. After their detention and dual legal process, they will be deported to their home country or to a safe third country like Rwanda, which is what I told you. They have a Rwanda with whom UK already has an agreement for this. मतलब they have an agreement. I find this agreement very strange. मतलब क्या है कि भाई देखो जो हमारे पास आता ना illegal उसको पकड़ के तुम्हारे पास दे देगा, तुम रखने का उसको. That is the agreement between UK and Rwanda. Well, that's the agreement. So that's the agreement. Okay. So he says, Baba, listen, if you are coming here illegally, we will throw you out and we will send you to Rwanda. I told you this before. This is what the second point is. The third point is, according to the Home Secretary, Ms. Braveman, the provision in the bill says that people who arrive by boat illegally will be detained for 28 days before being deported. She said that there will be very few exceptions for children, people who are medically unfit to fly, or those who are at risk. She said 28 days, you come to England without proper papers, illegally, you will be thrown out. We will show very little mercy for children and people who are very old or who may not be able to fly. Once deported, the individual will never be able to come back to the country. I told you this before. The law could be made effective from the date in the past, thus affecting those who are already arrived in UK. Now, this is very important. See, it is not that the cutoff point is starting tomorrow. Kal se nahi aane ka. It is not like that. The law can be predated. The law can be predated. So if you have come 3 years back, no, they can still say 3 years back, this law applies even then. So it's a predated law. It's not that you started from tomorrow. So if you have illegally migrated, 3 years back, this law is effective even then. The next point is emphasis had been given on ensuring the migrants do not delay their removal by using lengthy nature of legal processes. Well, legal mein tum mat jao. Or earlier on you go to court and then the court gives you another date, then another date, then another date, and therefore you continue staying. And by then, in so many years, you make some other arrangement and you continue to stay in the country. This is not going to happen. They say migrants who are victims of human trafficking would be barred from using Britain's modern slavery laws to prevent deportation. This is the most important point. We will dwell on this point a little later, but as of now, let me complete the first topic. So, migrants who are victims of human trafficking would be barred from using Britain's modern slavery laws to prevent deportation. This includes the landmark Modern Slavery Act 2015, which deals with offences like forced labour, human trafficking and exploitation, among others. The last point, and I'll tell you, I will come to this point, I will get into the Modern Slavery Act in detail. The last point is, under this bill, the British Parliament will be also tasked with setting a quota of number of immigrations from countries. एक कोटा रखेंगे, इसके ऊपर इमिग्रेशन अलाउ ही नहीं करेंगे. So they say that we are going to have one particular number beyond which we are not going to allow immigration. So this is the highlights of the illegal immigration bill. So you now know the bill in almost its totality. Now let's get into this most talked about and most controversial statement where they said that, listen, it is regardless, and people who have come here, illegal migrants who have come here, we will ensure that you are barred from using the Modern Slavery Act. This is where the problem starts. Now, what is the Modern Slavery Act? Modern Slavery Act means if you are trafficked to London, if you are bought to UK, you are trafficked to UK, or you are persecuted in your land and you come to UK seeking asylum, or you are sold as a slave in UK, these are situations where you come under the Modern Slavery Act. And according to United Nations Human Rights Commission, you are supposed to take care of the people. The country is supposed to take care of the people, protect that people. Or punish the people who have trafficked you, punish the people who have sold you and all of that. So this is something that the Human Rights Commission, UN Commission of Human Rights says. And there is a declaration that has been signed in 1951. Even UK, even Britain has signed that declaration. So they are part of that declaration. But they say, oh, declaration, रहने दो, हम लोग नहीं allow करेगा. Because this human rights, all these human rights and all that, and that Modern Slavery Act and all that is what is causing delay in us deporting these illegal migrants, because they are using that as a cover. Now let us look at from Sunak's point of view. Sunak says that, listen, you know what? Problem kya hai malum hai? Problem is when we want to deport our illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants causes a problem for our economy. Illegal immigrants causes a problem for our country. Because end of the day, we all are facing problems. The country is facing economic problems, and you have illegal immigrants coming like this, that problem aggravates. So we need to somehow stop it. In their minds, the biggest problem that Britain is facing currently are the problem of illegal immigrants. So he said, we have to stop it. Okay. And he says, such acts, this human rights and this Modern Slavery Act and all, these are causing impediments for us to deport these people fast. For us to be a government that can win back our borders. Because the government is helpless, their hands are tied, because when they put some conditions, when they pick up the illegal migrants, they want to deport them, then all these cases start. And their own courts protect these people. They said, we are not going to allow this to happen anymore. Sunak's point of view. See, while the others say that, what are you talking about? Like I said before, you have signed the 1951 declaration, UN Human Rights Commission declaration. So how can you go against it now? Now, for instance, what the other says, listen, if there is a woman who is bought into your country and sold into prostitution, now look at that woman's fate. If that woman comes out and says, you know what, I have been sold to prostitution in your country, help me, these people, these are the racketeers, these are the people who sell women in your country to prostitution, she will be first picked up and put onto Rwanda. End of story. Before anything happens, she will be deported. So what is she going to do? If she says, comes out and goes to a police station and says, this is what is happening with me, she is deported. And if she doesn't do it, then she is forced to continue with her prostitution. So you are causing more harm to trafficked people, to people who are sold as slaves in your country, than help. And what kind of responsibility are you exhibiting to the globe? So that's what one section of the society says. So they say that, listen, this illegal immigration bill sounds and all okay, but you can't say that, therefore you will be barred of getting Modern Slavery Act and all that. All this is not fair and all this is not going to work. This is the people who are against this bill. Now, there are a lot of other people, other people who say that, you are a curse to Indian, you are, it is a curse to be an Indian origin and you are stopping your own people from coming, or you're stopping migrants from coming to England and all that. I don't think that as much, much relevance, because, end of the day, he is the Prime Minister of his country. He is going to look at the welfare of his country. Now, if he finds that there are illegal immigrants coming in, illegal immigrants by the definition itself is illegal, correct? So that is why they are called illegal immigrants. Otherwise, they would have been called legal immigrants. So illegal immigrants ko deport karna is what a country's rights are. So they are doing it. So to that extent, I don't want to talk much about it. Now, a lot of Indians here are very upset, saying that, Rishi Sunak, Indian, doing this. Now, how fair is that? In the first place, we call ourselves developed. We call ourselves fifth largest economy. We are Vishwagurus. Why can't we give our own youth job? Why is our youth traveling, going and trying to become illegal immigrants? Why is it happening? Have you ever thought of that? Isn't it necessary for us to stop our youth, our people, to go and settle in some other country or dream of settling in some other countries? For some people, it's just dream to settle in UK and US and all of that. Shouldn't it be our fault? Shouldn't we blame our own self that we can't hold on, we can't give the privileges, we can't give the facilities, we can't give the comfort to our own people? Shouldn't we say that? That's a point that we need to kind of take it very seriously. That's point number one. Point number two is, listen, Rishi Sunak is a British citizen. Rishi Sunak is a British Prime Minister. His first responsibility is to his country. To that extent, there is no argument. He will do what is best suited for his country. He thinks this is best suited for his country, so he is doing it. Us sitting in India saying that Indian, India ko andar nahi lane deta hai, all this is not fair. It's absolutely not fair. Let us be very clear. The last point is, listen, you see, you can take steps, you can put laws, you can put bills, present bills in the parliament, you can, if you have the power, you can convert that into acts also. But somewhere down the line, you need to understand that a country, especially a civilized country, always needs to take the middle path. While they should take care of their interest, but that doesn't mean they have no responsibility to mankind or to the globe. It doesn't mean that. You trampling human rights laws, you are trampling, saying that तुम hijack किया, तुमको asylum seeker है, तुमको तुम्हारे country से persecute किया, whatever happens to you, don't enter into our border. This is unfair. This is unfair. And that is something that neither should we Indians and our government forget, nor should Sunak and his government forget. That's the point I leave you with. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Namaskar.